exhausted for no reason. I have no idea why I'm so tired. Maybe I am burnt out. It's 3 p.m. and I have been writing all day. And I feel like I have not made any progress, and now I feel like I can't keep going and I have no interest in this, and I'm starting to like cut corners and stuff. So I'm stopping. I feel like I might be working too hard and it's all not worth it. I don't know. I feel like I'm gonna end up deleting so much. I said I didn't feel like I was making any progress today, and that's definitely not true. I feel like I need to come up with a new outline. When I started this YouTube channel, it started with me outlining this new draft. Now I'm 2/3 of the way through it, and I feel like I need to outline again. Which I guess isn't that bad. Maybe that's good. Maybe this is the right track that I'm on. It's only been like a little over a month. Maybe it's been 2 months since I last outlined. So maybe this is good. Maybe I'm taking this negative tone for no reason. This is a persimmon, by the way. I'm going to hold it. No, I'm not. That's weird. I'm kind of thinking of printing out the 81 pages I have so far to help me outline, and maybe like attaching pages to note cards or something like that, or printing out the note cards that the program gives me. I kind of want to do something completely different and change it completely from what my original outline was and what I was thinking, because I'm just like not inspired to write it. I don't really know what that would be though, so maybe I should just write what I was originally going for and see if I can do it, because I haven't even tried it. I've clearly been procrastinating that. But I just feel like I'm not ready to finish writing the story. I feel like I don't have a grasp on the first 80 pages to be able to write the final 30. Does that make any sense? I don't know if that makes any sense. Something else I was thinking about is how much I want the acting to get across a lot of the ideas in the script, and maybe I'm putting way too much on myself as a writer that I need to be leaving to some of the other craftspeople if I'm ever lucky enough to film this movie. Maybe I should leave a little bit more for the directing and acting instead of trying to force it all into the script. I don't need to put everything into the script. I just need to finish it. Gosh, I keep telling myself that, and I need to keep telling myself that. I don't need to make it perfect. It just needs to be done. But yet I want it to be perfect. In my last video, I was traveling for work and for family, and I did not take a break that whole time. I was taking every chance I could to write or think about the story. So maybe that wasn't good. Maybe that wasn't a good use of my energy. It's like every time I want to talk, the birds start again. I literally can't tell if this outfit is cute or not. I printed all of the note cards, but I accidentally printed them double-sided, so I can't cut them out, or else like a note card 3 scenes away will be on the other side. It has every scene in the first 66 pages of my script. So my plan is to write in these note cards like details about this scene and things that stick out to me as important, because every single line of dialogue or action or description I think needs to add up to something, because I only have, 90 to 120 pages to tell the story. So every single thing I put on the page should mean something. I don't know, just start to see things that need to come back later or that I can use later, because I'm not really sure what to do. I'm like stuck here at page 66. I think I've been a little bit over dramatic about this like writer's block. Ow! Why did I just hurt my hand doing that? What I haven't written is bridging the disaster moment to the it gets even worse moment, because right now there needs to be something in between to amp the tension. Does there? Now that I'm saying it out loud, I'm like, I think I need to look over story structure again, because I think there's a lot of extra beats in here also that I've just been kind of like squeezing into the structure to make them make sense to me, even though hopefully re-outlining will help. And this is the first step, I think, to re-outlining. Note cards. I'm really sad that they're not like aesthetic. I can't like put them all over the wall, but this was a lot of ink and paper, so I don't want to use more ink and paper from my printer. There's a lot of dialogue early on that's very telling, and then the idea is like, we'll see that later, like it will come back and I will show you the impacts and the consequences of that. Does it happen? I don't know. Haven't written those scenes yet. This table, Post-its, the note cards that I printed out, I turned them into this little book up to page 66 in note cards. Yesterday, I went through them at a little coffee shop, had like a cute date with myself. And while I went through them, I found a problem. It was after the midpoint, so I made a new sheet of note cards, and I realized I need to start rearranging some scenes, because after the midpoint his goal changes, but I don't really understand how. Like the new goal after the midpoint isn't really in line with the rest of the story and doesn't really lead us to anything. So I need to figure out what happens post midpoint, and I have plenty of scenes written as they are turned into these note cards. So I believe the answer is in my work already, and if it's not, like I just need to figure out how I'm going to get us from this post midpoint moment to the end. I need to put every scene on one of these, and then I can rearrange them, move them around. I love the dining room table as like an arts and crafts like project workspace, but now I'm realizing I need a wall to put these on. So I think I need to find a new environment, also one that doesn't have this very annoying chandelier, and start this re-outlining process. Let's go. All right, see you in the new environment. Okay, I'm realizing something now, that kind of the goal, I think it changes 3 times. At least it changes, I think it changes for every act is a different goal. He has the goal to keep everything the same. Inciting incident happens very early on here. I think I maybe didn't need to make a card for each individual scene. This is kind of overkill. They're all kind of popping off the wall. Yeah, this is Act 1. Last one of Act 1. That's Act 1. That's like the entire wall. Ta-da! I think Act 1's good. I don't think I need to do anything to it. Okay, so this scene, and this scene are all important to the main character's goal and motivation, which is a thing that's going to carry us through to the end of the story. Okay, so here, up to here, his goal is for everything to stay the same. Let me reference my 6-act story structure document that I still haven't read, but let's see. The character begins the story in a less than ideal situation he would like to change but seemingly cannot. Deep within himself, the character wants one particular thing more than anything else in the world. Okay, we have that. When the story begins, the character is already dealing with personal conflicts as well as conflicts of the world at large. Yep, we have all that. The character is shown to be someone the audience would like to succeed or be willing to follow on the journey or story. Of the story. A symbolic opening image. We have a great opening image, and all this stuff establishes the tone. I'm happy with it, I'm not changing it. When the story opens, the character has a goal he's actively pursuing. The character takes action toward achieving his initial goal. Because this takes place in 2010, the goal is YOLO 420 blaze it. In this opening scene, he is holding on really hard to his desire to 420 blaze it, party, whatever. We have initial goal and action towards goal. Okay. So this is the disturbance / catalyst. I always thought that was the same as the inciting incident, but I guess I'm wrong. A dilemma. The character is placed in a position where he must choose between life as he has known it or taking a new course of action. Is that the end of Act 1 there? I don't know if I'm following this perfectly, but the character makes the decision to take action by accepting the new role. The character, oh my goodness, I need to read this, obviously. He has this goal. He wants to party. Something crazy happens that he was not expecting, but it's kind of his fault. He tries really hard to hang on. I'm having a mentee bee. I do not have time for this. Okay. I have said that I like Act 1, and I'm going to stick to that. Reading this 6-act story structure made me completely freak out a little bit. But I remembered I'm not writing a story that needs to be like a copy and paste of a story structure workbook, because that's not interesting to me. I want it to feel, I don't want to say original, but I want it to be like true to this character and the story and what it needs to be. So I think this Act 1 is, I just need to figure out the rest of the story. So that being said, I'm done looking at Act 1. We have our main character has a goal. He's maintaining the status quo. He's YOLO 420, partying, blaze it, whatever. Things are changing. Things are going to change. He is reluctant. Great. Page 9. He is confronted with the fact that things need to change. Takes the first step on page 11. Or does he? Maybe this is misplaced. Okay, interesting. Is he starting to change here? Or are people pushing him and he's still reluctant? And the new goal is to keep up. Something like that. I don't know. Let me take a minute.
1 minute later.
I have done some rearranging. Act 1 is now all on this side of the screen, which is great. I have only left the very important scenes because I was very overwhelmed with having every single scene as a note card. For some reason, it was not overwhelming for me in the book. For some reason, it was very overwhelming for me on the wall. So, in another video, I said so much of rewriting is trying to get back to the magic of your first draft, but in a way that is a good story that makes sense. This is literally a scene from my first draft that I wanted to cut. And now I'm realizing why it made sense and how it fits. The games, the basketball games, and the studying thing are really good markers of his growth. So I feel a little bit better. This is his goal at the beginning, goal at the end. I feel like he still has the same goal at the end of Act 1, which maybe isn't a bad thing. I'm gonna put this over here, and I'm going to start on the Act 2 cards because I think he's holding on really hard to this very immature, unrealistic goal. And I think at the beginning of Act 2 is where everything changes. I don't know if that's appropriate to the story structure because I threw it on the floor. So I don't know if that goes with story structure, but this is what I'm doing. If it all falls apart and I need to redo all of this, fine. Act 2 begins here. And so far I've written up to here, which I believe is the midpoint. Basically, I think it's really good now that I've looked at it on the wall and I have not consulted any story structure. I really like the way Act 2 is going. It's very like characters trying to go after this new goal. He's trying to go after like the real thing that he should be going after, but he keeps falling back into his insecurity. And it's nothing huge. It's all very little things that happen. It's a very short second act, which I love. Very like fun and games. We have our second main character beginning his big transformation arc, whatever. And then it ends with them fighting. Our main character refusing to grow, refusing to change, refusing to be better, even though he wants to and he knows he should. He can't because he's held back by his insecurity up until this point where it ends with a low point. I don't know if it's the lowest point, but it is a low point, which is making me think that I need to come up with a new beat that's like a false victory toward the end. Like he gets everything he wants, but it's not what he needs. Instead of like a true dark night of the soul. It's like, it seems like the lowest point, but it's going to get much worse. which it is. Okay, I feel very good up to here. After this is where we need to start rearranging stuff. Because we have a new goal here, but I'm not quite sure what that is. I mean, I think I do know what it is actually. We have added quite a few cards on our wall. We have our midpoint and our post-midpoint new goal. Our hero is very reactionary. He is reacting to what happened at the midpoint, which was all his fault, a disaster caused by him, a low point caused by his inability to deal with his flaw. He has a momentary dip, but he immediately starts working on his new plan. This plan is going well, but he's really cranky and he's really moody and he's pushing everyone away, which he should not be doing. I have started getting into the post-midpoint beats, and I'm very, very sad to report that there is a scene I love. I really enjoyed writing the scene. It's funny, it's intense, but unfortunately, I think it has to go. This is the whole kill your darlings thing. Here it is. I had to throw it out. I had to crumple it up. It's on the floor now. It's gone. I'm kind of sad I have to lose it here because it fit really nicely. I'm realizing that the act breaks are really just new goals. I like slow burn stuff where the story beats are more subtle and then the ending is more fast-paced, and it starts slow and fun and you feel like you're hanging out with the characters, and all of a sudden all this stuff happens. I don't know if I've achieved that here or if I'm going to achieve it, because obviously this is like, I guess, half the story. I don't know what I was getting at actually. Like I just completely lost my train of thought. So he starts wanting to just party and be unserious. Then he realizes he needs to keep up, and then he decides, I don't need anyone. I'm going to work really hard and I'm going to get out of here. Okay, this goal kind of seems insane compared to the other ones, but he will quickly realize that this is not what he actually needs to do. I think? Oh man, I really need to get writing. I'm not really quite sure. I mean, post-midpoint, his new goal is not, what should his goal be after the midpoint? Because things have changed. What does he want? I kind of like this get out of here, everyone is better off without me turn. Yeah, he realizes that he's getting left behind because he's not willing to change, and then he's like, well, everyone is better off without me. My brain is not functioning. At this part, he makes up with the side character, and then I think the next two post-its I'll be putting up are okay, so making up with the side character makes him go to make up with the main character. I guess that is kind of clashing with the new goal. Or is it? Well, no, okay, this does work because his new goal was everyone's better off without me, let me get out of here, focus on myself and my own life. He works towards that, and then he's like, I can't, like, this is not good, I'm not happy. And then he makes up with this side character, and while he's talking to the side character, he realizes what a great person his friend Nick is. That he like wants him in his life even though Nick's on a totally different path than he is. Okay, that's good. Then here he realizes that, so this is a real moment of growth. Yes. So the next moment is he goes to make up with him, and when he does that, he runs into his new love interest. Okay, so that's the next scene I'm gonna put on this board, which is, funny enough, the end of my little book that I made. I have some really good notes that I made in this book, so it was not a waste of ink.
One eternity later.
This is everything. This is the entire plot. I kind of blacked out and just finished the entire story in beats. I'm kind of scared all these post-its are going to fall off the wall. I kind of realized that cutting that one scene that was here that I really liked didn't really change anything. I could probably put that scene back and it would make no difference. It would just be a little bit shorter without it. So maybe I'll cut it, see how it feels. Maybe I'll put it back. It doesn't make a huge difference to the story whether I take that scene out or not, or the character like at all. I feel like this draft is at least worth trying now that I've mapped everything out like this scene is a huge one that kind of dictates the rest of the story, how you're going to feel about both main characters. So I need to work out all the details of this scene, but the general crux of it, I don't think I'm going to change. This is Act 3, I guess, everything here. And this is the climax right here. Maybe I just need to like write and figure out some of these scenes. But I think having a better grasp on the structure and the overview will help. It's kind of simple. I feel like I've complicated this to no end, but it's actually really simple. We're gonna have to stop being lazy and think and write something that makes sense. Okay. I don't know if this is right, but this is what we're gonna go with. You know what? Maybe I do need that scene that I was gonna kill my darlings. Maybe I do need it because it can be reflected here. We can see this exact scene play out with different characters. They're flipped. This is a thought. I love it. I wrote 2 lines of dialogue here. I probably won't put any of this in the vlog because I sound insane. And that is his aha moment. And then we have our climactic confrontation. And the big twist at the end. The big kiss. I think this is good. I think it's simple. I think it's nothing I hadn't thought of before. I think it makes a lot of sense, and I think talking through it really helped. So, this is my outline. Now I need to write the damn thing. I've pretty much written all of it. I just need to edit, distill, rewrite, and get this all into a good working order. Yeah, but that was really, really helpful. I think I just figured out so much. I have no idea how I'm gonna edit this video without giving my entire story away, so we'll see.